Hello everyone, and welcome to our session today on Popdock. What is it? Joining us today is Clifford from Innovia Consulting, and we're excited to have such a fantastic turnout today. Before I pass it over to Kevin to cover on this hot topic, I would like to remind you that this session is being recorded and it will be posted to our on-demand webinar library later this week for you to review and share with anyone. And if you do have any questions, please feel free to type those into the questions box. We will get them answered during our Q&A time at the end of our session. And so now I will pass it on to Kevin to kick off our presentation.
Hey, thanks, Angie, and good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining me today for my webinar on Popdock. As Angie said, I'm part of the customer engagement team here at Innovia. As a sidebar note, I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary with Innovia shortly. It's been a very enjoyable ride. A little bit about my role here. As I said, I'm a customer engagement specialist. Any company that partners with Innovia gets assigned an account manager or a customer engagement specialist, and we are your free resource. You want to ask questions, seek out solutions, or address concerns, you can always contact your account manager, get those answered without ever receiving a bill. So with that said, one of those solutions that we discuss with our customers is Popdock. I think Popdock is a solution that makes a lot of sense for a variety of companies, and more importantly, for a variety of different roles inside of those companies. As I understand it, Popdock evolved from E1's Smart List solution, which gives you access to your critical data wherever you are at. It's a self-service BI tool that allows you to pull up that data from a wide variety of sources, present it in a fashion that you want to see, and do that from anywhere you happen to be. As an example, as a customer engagement specialist, if I'm traveling to one of my accounts, I can pull out my smartphone and get the current customer balance from my Business Central. If you happen to be a CFO and you're lucky enough to be sitting on a beach someplace, you can pull out your cell phone, pull up the data that you need to see when you want to see it, all in real time, without actually logging into, say, your Dynamics 365 or other data source. There's also the ability to embed data from one source into another, where you can look at quick viewing. Let's say that you spend all of your time in Dynamics 365 and you have information from HubSpot that you'd like to see as a marketing person. You can create what they call a widget, bring that in, and it'll appear there so that you're not bouncing back and forth from one data source to another. Out of the box, Popdock will give you a wide selection of pre-made reports, but these are easily customized and get them tailored to your particular need or your particular role. With that said, why don't we go ahead and pull up Popdock. This is my login page. Brings me to their portal. Here's my home page. Typically, after you've used Popdock, up here on the ribbon, you will have several tabs that you will create for quick reference. These will refresh every time you access them, bringing you in the live data, keeping you current. So let's say we're going to start fresh, we're going to add a new tab. So I simply click here and then find my connectors. Because of all the connectors that they have available, you can have these listed. Click on a connector. Today I'm going to use my BC Sandbox demo connector. Simply click on the company. I'm going to use the Cronus USA. You could have several companies listed here, and it would pull the data from that source for that particular company. They refer to this as a group. I prefer to think of it as a role. So I'm going to select sales. And then here are the different reports that are available. Let's keep this simple. I'll just go to customers and tell it to add that. It will go out and then create the tab here with customers. We'll have to give it a minute or so to load. And there it is. Predetermined, it'll just bring up your customer number, your customer name, and the account balance that you see here. you want to see different items. You want to see them, let's say for, let's look at the city that these customers are in. Simply type in city, pull it from here, tell it to add the selected column. And now you see I've got the city located here. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and add state. You could scroll down through the list of all the available columns, but I just find it easier to go ahead and use this search button. It quickly brings them up for you. So now I have my city and state that I've added to the pre-made report. Doesn't make so much sense to have this over here to the right of my balance. So I'll simply drag this, bring it here. Now my city is in the wrong spot, so we'll drag it back here and there. It's just not cooperating. There, now we've got it. I can do the same thing with state. Bring it here. So now it makes sense. I've got the name, the city, the state. Let's go ahead and look for salesperson name. Let's add that. And now we've got the salesperson name. Another nice feature is you can simply group these. You can see we've got them intermingled here, John and Peter. If I click, drag this to the grouping section, now it automatically puts a header, John Roberts, scroll down, and there's Peter. And scroll back up, and then I can filter also. If I want to create a filter, let's see, I have no filters currently because this is a new tab. Again, I can quickly search by, let's say, city. And it's not typing, there we go. Or state. State will be easier, quicker. And then we want it to equal, and let's say Florida. Save that. Now it's brought up the two accounts that I have. Keeps the same data, but just filters out everything that is not from Florida. If you want to save that, you can save that filter. For simplicity, we're just going to delete it, bring all of our data back in the original form that it was in. I've got this categorized by salesperson name. You can compress that, expand that. Now let's say I've looked at this, and if you look, Peter's not really knocking it out of the park here. So I want to share this with somebody else on the team or Peter himself. Click the export button. It will, if you look down here, create an Excel spreadsheet. Let's open that. And now I've got a spreadsheet that shows all the data that I had on the screen. I can simply save that, send it to anybody in my organization, share this report with them. I wanted to create, let's create another tab, add a new tab, let's find our connector. This time, just to demonstrate that you can use varying, you can see I have two different data sources. If I click on this one, let's go to marketing, and let's go to opportunities. Now I'm dealing with that in a completely different data source, but again, it'll all appear here on my portal screen. Again, these will be saved. We can mark some as favorites, but you can see now I have all the campaigns that have been brought up that I have listed. Just as before, I can hit show columns, and I can select through, the salesperson, add that. And again, now I've added my salesperson code over here for salesperson name. So the other thing I can do is switch quickly between just this list view and a chart view. Now here, this is selected by the contact person. You can see the number of campaigns that they have. If you prefer it in a chart, there is a text view. For me, it's a little compact and confusing. I rarely use that. I prefer the list. So, but let's go back to our home. I've showed you that we can use, multiple connectors on one tab. Let's take a look at the connectors that I have. Here's all the different connectors, but if I don't see what I'm looking for, simply add a connector. And this brings up all the lists of all the available connectors that Popdock has. There's Etsy, there's HubSpot, MailChimp, just about anything. If you do not see a connector for a data source that you have, reach out to your Innovia representative. We can contact Popdocs. Some of these connectors are quickly made in a matter of a couple of days. If you don't have a very unique data source, they'd be more than anxious to go ahead and get that up here as well and get that created. But as they add more, currently they have 48. Let's say you're looking for a particular connector for Microsoft. You can simply click here and it brings up the 7 connectors they currently have. Let's head back to our home page. Go to our opportunities again. And as I said, we can simply click here, list, chart. We can mark favorites. We can do filters. Again, we can refresh this. If you're looking at the screen and it's like you've had it stuck here for a while, simply click refresh. We'll refresh the data and bring you up to date again. So that's pretty much Popdocs in a nutshell. We have just started using this myself, and I found it's a real quick, easy way for me to be anywhere and access data that I need from any data source. So with that said, this is my contact information. Do we have any questions, Angie?
Thank you, Kevin. Yes, we do have one question. Who would benefit from using Popdocs?
I tell you what, anybody that's on the move or anybody that has to deal on a daily basis with multiple data sources, I showed you all the different connectors. You can imagine having to bounce from one of those to the other to find the information that you want. You can bring that in and put it on one screen that's quick and easy to connect to. Once you have your tab set up, every morning over your morning coffee, you could log in and quickly check through the BC data that you want to see, the HubSpot data you want to see if you're in a marketing position, and quickly take a look at it. So really, it's up to the person, their role, and what they need to see. It pretty much gleans through all that data. So I would say anybody that's active in the company that's got more than one data source that wants to see it, just boil down to what they actually want to see every day.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Nope, doesn't appear that any other ones are coming through, but if anyone does have any further questions, you can certainly contact Kevin or your account rep, and we will get those answered for you.
Hey, thanks everyone. I appreciate your time, and like I say, feel free to reach out to myself or anyone here at Innovia, and we can get you more in-depth information designed around what data sources you have.
All right, thank you, Kevin, for presenting today, and to everyone on today's call, or if you are watching on demand, we thank you for joining us. And we do have a few more webinars coming soon. Tomorrow, August 21st, we have Century Business Solutions presenting on integrated payment processing in Dynamics 365 Business Central. And next Tuesday, August 27th, we have Holly Kudel from Innovia Consulting, and she's going to be presenting on lunch with our support team. So if you're interested in any of those webinars or any of our future webinars or events, please check out our website address, and that's innovia.com/events. And we also want to mention that we have our new podcast going on. It's called the Innovia Conversation. and you can find out about all the different podcast platforms to listen to on our podcast page, and that's innovia.com/podcast. So check out our podcast selection and subscribe to get notified on all of our new episodes. And Innovia is proud to be a platinum sponsor of BCUG NAVUG Summit in Orlando, Florida this year. Those dates are October 13th through the 18th. And if you haven't registered already, or if you want more information about Summit, check out our conference page on our website, and that's innovia.com/conferences. All right, thank you again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again soon on another Innovia webinar. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.